Hello and welcome to the Mentally Handicapped Show. I'm your host, Big Dummy. I kind of get the feeling that maybe I'm not supposed to open my mouth too much. I don't know. Being a mute definitely has its benefits, or at least not engaging with, not communicating with the world too much. There are benefits and drawbacks to just about everything. How are the bots doing? Are you guys doing well? Or at least the spam accounts? Are you guys making a decent living? Hopefully, you guys are making good use of that income. I find it interesting that that someone developed whole domain categories just to avoid link detection for for uh, for spam accounts like .fyi and .lol. It's too cold to stay outside for very long. I'm not sure how much or if any got through on the last very short stream, or even if I'm still still broadcasting here. Looks like it. Hey, Joshua Taft. No, I didn't think you were a spam bot. It's just that was it. Those were the only two comments I had in the last couple live streams. Lately, I've just been keeping the phone in my pocket because most of the time there's no one live, and if I have a train of consciousness or a thought process, it's too easy for me to get distracted and lose my train of thought if I keep looking at the phone. Oh, instead of like a .com or .org or .net website address, somebody I figure fairly high up in the food chain of internet connections created .fyi and .lol, and there's a whole ton of other ones, but those two are what most of the spam stuff that I've seen lately, like for the last year. It's usually Russian accounts or accounts with like lately it's been accounts with you know the names of women or something like that, probably because people are more likely to engage with at least dudes are subconsciously more likely to engage with a woman and click some random link. And like a lot of people will type with poor grammar, so they'll finish a sentence with a period and then not put a space between the period and LOL or whatever else. So at first there were probably bypassing the YouTube automatic link removal stuff, but now it seems like most people either the accounts either get deleted for just rapid spamming videos or people report them pretty quickly. So I would imagine they have to create new accounts like every week or something. I tried to stream before this, and I think it lasted like 11 minutes, and something happened. I'm not sure what, but got kicked off and pulled the phone out of my pocket and saw it had 10% battery. So I opened the phone to the streaming service. It was disconnected. It seems like par for the course lately, I guess. There was two streams like a week or so ago where I thought I was live, but I had them on private. So there was like, no one was ever going to tune into those live anyway, just because I'm a dork. Yeah, most of the time, if there's like a space, it won't, it won't be a hot link, so you can't like actually click on it. Generally, it has to be, all connected, like no spaces. But if there's a period, like a word and then a period and then any kind of domain prefer suffix, I guess, without any spaces, a lot of times it'll be hot. Most websites will have links underlined or highlighted in a different colored text, but I think YouTube's a little different on some of that. Usually, it's not highlighted in a different color. I've been having some weird dreams lately. Most people probably wouldn't think they're too weird, but they're like corruptive dreams, but like at a distance. It's really odd. The last one, I was like talking to some person, and I didn't get this feeling during the dream, but after I woke up, I kind of got that feeling like they're the traditional method to corrupt people in dreams hasn't been working too well. So, at least recently. So it's like they've taken a different approach to act act more innocent. Feels like an attempt. So I let my guard down. I'm not sure if that's totally accurate or not. That's too bad people are losing their minds. But the future is very uncertain. It could go in either direction depending on the actions of people. I mean, most people think that, at least people who are aware of the uh, the state of the world and kind of how things appear to work, the layer or two underneath the commonly perceived surface. But the people that appear to run things, really, they're just puppets. I mean, they do have free will to enact all their horrendous plans and worldly designs, but it's all their desires are used and facilitated in a way that where they're allowed to think that everything they do is their own design. But really, it kind of is, but also it's part of the grand plan from outside of this world. I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, the big picture can get extremely wide once, depending on how far a person zooms out. I got to put on a coat again. Go outside. Hopefully it doesn't cut out again. I really don't have much of an idea of what's been going on out there, other than new variants, and other than the news that I hear from Rabbi Mizrachi when I watch lectures, and from interacting with a couple other people occasionally that watch the news. Someone was talking to me about something like they said, something about people dying and cars flipping over, and said it was really bad in somewhere, and I was like, I'm sorry, I really have no idea what you're talking about. Like that tornado. I was like, I don't know about a tornado. I mean, it sucks that people died. And I had to recall that I saw a tweet when, like a day before or something, when I went on Twitter about someone posted some graphic of like the hurricane path or something like that. I was like, oh, I guess I kind of saw something, but really couldn't figure out what was going on without further explanation. Like I'm completely out of the loop. The way things usually work is there's severe economic downturns in what is called the Shemitah year. It's like the the Sabbath of years, like every 7 years, or every 6 year, the seventh year, the land is supposed to rest, and uh, there's a bunch of other details that I'm not 100% clear on off the top of my head, but generally that's when stock market crashes happen, especially in America. And there hasn't been a market crash or even really a correction for, I think, almost 14 years. It was not the last media year, which was, I think, 2014, but 2007 was the last crash. So on that timeline, we're definitely overdue if things keep their general pattern. But there's some tractates in the Talmud that discuss what the world will be like in the days prior to the redemption and the arrival of Mashiach. And one of them that I've heard in lectures over the last that I've watched over the last few months, but that have been posted like I don't know, up to like 5 years ago or something like that, was the face of the generation will be like the face of the dog. And the common explanation for that is that the people will be extremely arrogant. But it's also kind of funny. Rabbi Alon Anava said, it's really interesting how not only the arrogance of the generation is probably more than it's ever been, but also literally everyone walks around with a muzzle. I mean, who 2,000 years ago, plus or minus, could have could have ever predicted that everyone would be walking around with a literal muzzle on their face? There is always hope. One of the other things that they describe in Gemara or the Talmud about prior to the end of days, or during the end of days, whatever a person wants to call it, is uh, people will have empty pockets. It's commonly thought to basically mean everyone will be extremely poor. Like people may have money, or they may have things that currently are perceived as having value, but no one will no one will want, or they will be essentially worthless because no one will have a surplus of things people need to survive in order to facilitate that trade, primarily like food and water. And one of the things that's supposed to happen in the last 7 years before the arrival of Mashiach is severe droughts and starvation, and of course war. And then it said also all the Torah scholars and learners will almost disappear from the world, or at least all be severely decreased in their number. And most of the big rabbis of the generation will be found to be mostly corrupt. Rabbi Mizrahi said, I think in a recent lecture, that the last of what are kind of commonly accepted as the great rabbis of the previous generation are all like really old. Like there's only a few left, and they're all like over 90. And so whenever they leave the world, there's really no one to take their place. So everyone will be pretty much be kind of on their own, and the only place to turn will be, at least the only real place to turn, is to God. It might not be 7 years away. It could be, it could be longer. But if it is that close, it will be a good thing for everyone to everyone that hears this to get all their ducks in a row, both financially, physically, mentally, preparation wise. but most important to do whatever you can to get a connection to the creator of all things. That's one thing that time is seriously running out on, because it's not an easy process, and it takes constant work. Yeah, it is. It is sad, and from the lessons that I've heard taught in a lot of their names, they were really, really valuable as far as the things that they were able to understand and share with the world. Well, a start is better than nothing. But one of the reasons for everyone being poor and starving and totally destitute before Mashiach comes is that for anyone that's still here, that doesn't get totally destroyed in the process before the world is remade and uh, and there is true peace. Whoever is still here will have to have a certain level of disconnect from their desires and from physicality, or at least a perspective that it's that it's not real. I mean, it's real in the sense that things have structure and people can interact with them, and consumption or engagement in physical activity has a reciprocal emotional response in people, but it's an illusion compared to what is really really real. So even if a person is holy, or perceived to be totally righteous by most people's standards, if they're still consumed by their physical desires and going after money and things and stuff like that, they just won't make it. I gotta go. Hope you have a good night, Joshua. Talk to you soon. Never give up hope.